come with me on the road. I was just thinking, I just rewatched my previous post, and I was like, I should make a video on how you can tell when somebody is not healthy. We want to say toxic, but whatever. Tomato, tomato. They're all words, right? Describing, or trying to describe the same thing. How can you tell if somebody's unhealthy? Well, I've been sitting with these things for some time, and you can tell when somebody is unhealthy or unhealed when they hurt you. And what do I mean by they hurt you? Well, when you look up topics like narcissists or trauma, anything like that, they're all just kind of different angles of the same subject matter. If you think about it, we're just looking at different angles of the same subject matter. And I just think an unhealed person, I'm gonna go. Unhealed person hurts. They hurt you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. They just hurt you. And it's because they're hurt. They probably don't know any other way, but it's definitely not our job to save them. I've learned that the hard way. You can't save anyone. Obviously, you can offer help, but help should usually be followed up with a healthy boundary. Like, I can help you this much, and then after that, I can't. I take full responsibility for this. My problem was I thought I could save them. No, you can't save people. You can only help them help themselves. And even at that, it's like you need to be aware of how much time and attention you're willing to put into that, because if not, you'll waste your whole life trying to help someone, and then you'll be their crutch, and then they really won't make any progress. I truly do feel that pain is a transformative agent, and so sometimes when you leave relationships, that's when you notice that people kind of get better, because it puts them in a place of pain and self-reflection. But if you stick around and you basically become that person's crutch, they get comfortable, they start relying on you, they start and you allow them to basically bypass their evolutionary process by just kind of being that crutch. And then when you leave and they encounter pain, that's when they normally start making shifts and changes in themselves, because it's I don't have this crutch anymore. What happened? I need to understand what went wrong. That pain pressures people into change. It's unfortunate, but in this dimension, I suppose that's the norm. Pain is the transformative agent. But I notice pain either pressures you into becoming stronger, or it pressures you to stay in place, because you start getting putting up defense mechanisms because you don't want to encounter the pain again. But the thing is, the pain is still there. That's why I think in my previous video I said something about choose your hard. You can either hold on or let go. Both ways are hard, but I feel when you hold on, you're just kind of keeping yourself in some type of self-created imprisonment versus letting go and being free. Both are hard. Both will be painful. Both will hurt. And that's why in a lot of videos I say get comfortable being uncomfortable, because if your priority is growth and change and becoming more of who you really are, you're going to have to go through many of these transitions. It'd be nice if you could just do it in one go, but I feel if you did it in one go, you just wouldn't survive the level of pain that you'd have to encounter. So you receive it in you receive it when you're ready. You receive it in micro moments and micro doses, because if you had to process all the pain to make that kind of transformation, Oh, I feel like I tell people often, like, I don't know, I seem like a really happy, easygoing, and calm person, and I am. Until somebody does something that I deem disrespectful, then I have no problem standing up for myself and speaking up and putting them in place, because I don't disrespect people. So if you're going to disrespect me, then I have no problem speaking up on it. Where was I going with this? Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I'm like the calmest, peaceful, most understanding and patient person, most compassionate. I don't go in the world to hurt people. In fact, whenever I get hurt, it's usually because I'm encountering someone else's hurt, and then I have to like recognize that it's a projection. And then if I'm triggered, that's a difference. If I'm hurt by someone else, I realize the hurt is coming from them because they haven't healed themselves, But if I'm triggered, then that's when I'm like, oh, this is a me thing. Like, I am being triggered right now. What do I need to look at within myself? That's the thing. I have to be really grateful for my curiosity, my inquisitiveness, and my attention to resolving things. Because I really, seriously, once a problem comes up, whether it be from me or someone else, it's like I immediately go into, okay, I don't want to get stuck here. So how can I resolve this? How can I repair this? How can I balance the situation out? I'm also pretty assertive. Like, I don't like being stuck, guys. I really don't. I don't like being stuck. And I recognize that, well, since I've become my own best friend, I recognize that for most of my life, I have dumbed myself down, and I have taken on other people's pain and mistaken it for my own, when in actuality, it's all projections. If I am triggered, which I didn't even know the difference between a projection and a trigger. Like, it's like, okay, projection is somebody else's pain on you. Trigger is your own pain that you haven't healed, right? But now that I'm aware of these two different dynamics, when they come up, I can recognize them and I can deal with them accordingly. And what happens is, again, like, okay, this feels imbalanced. How do I balance it? If it's a projection, I'll call the person out on the projection. Like before, like I said, I couldn't differentiate the two, but now that I can, I'll be like, right now you're projecting. And normally I'll be met with defense because they don't want to take accountability or responsibility. And then I'll tell them, right now you're gaslighting me and you're manipulating me into believing that my hunch is inaccurate. Because you don't want to take responsibility or accountability for your actions and what you're projecting onto me. Now, when I'm triggered, I will totally accept responsibility. Like, right now I'm being triggered, I feel fear. That's a thing though. Like, I've encountered so much pain and so much fear, and I've pushed through them so many times. It's almost like, I don't know, like, it's I don't know if this is good or not, but it's like, it's been so normalized, like me having to go through so many transformations and transitions, that it's not too difficult for me to do it anymore. Like, what would normally take a person years, a lifetime to do, I can probably clear it within a few weeks, sometimes days, depending on the level of the trigger, because throughout our life we're constantly being triggered, right? And it's like every time you like work through the trigger, you like make a little bit of like progress. So it's just like the more progress I make, the more I unlock and unblock that trigger. It just gets easier. I mean, I'm not saying that it's easy, because it definitely isn't. I still encounter a large amount of pain and fear does come up, but my whole thing is I don't sit and I don't let it fester and I don't repress it. I just immediately recognize it and push right on through. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of veered off the subject matter, but yeah, unhealed people, they hurt you. mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And it doesn't even have to come in the form of an attack. It can also come in the form of neglect, you know, like just not recognizing that they're not pulling their weight or contributing towards a connection, which is, to me, supposed to be collaboration or cooperation. You know, a lot of people, I notice a lot of hurt people, they are very defensive. Very defensive. Like for me, I don't really get I don't really get defensive. They also like have this energy about them where they're really stuck in their ego, I guess. Like they're like I said, they have to defend themselves. They have to defend, you know, everything. And you become like their enemy. That's how you know. When you feel like you're their enemy versus their partner versus their friend, that's how you know they're not healed. That's what I've recognized. It's like they don't like themselves so much that they project that on you. You know, it's like they're not their own best friend. They're their own worst enemy. And so, you know, where's that energy going to go except onto you as a projection? And it's like, I don't know. I've spent a lot of time telling people, man, I'm not your enemy. I'm like here to like help you. It's like, and I notice like when you confront these people, they don't want to be told what to do. Oh, if you want to trigger them, tell them what to do. No. But then sometimes silence is required, you know. But for me, I ask questions. Like for instance, good example, I know somebody who's hyper independent, and it's like, no, I can do it. And I would be sitting on the side. I'd be like, well, I can help you. I have like 2 empty hands that can help. No, I can do it. And then at one point, I'm just like, okay. You know, I just kind of let them do it. And then I noticed they were struggling. And then instead of, like I said, telling them, like, I can help you, I would just go, why are you doing this to yourself? So I kind of like approached them with a question. I think they like questions better than being told what to do. Being told what to do triggers them even more. And so, yeah, I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why are you doing that? You're hurting yourself. Why do you hurt yourself? Like, why is it so hard for you to accept help? You know, you just ask questions. People are more, I think, responsive and receptive to questions. Because I feel like when you tell them what to do, they feel like you're encroaching on their independence. And also, it almost feels like you're demanding versus asking. I know, I honestly, I think most beings actually respond better to questions. Because nobody wants to be told what to do. I mean, we all have our own lives. We are, you know, working towards our own autonomy. You know, so nobody wants anyone to tell them how to live their life or how to do something. You know, but if you ask questions like, hey, are you open to a suggestion? Hey, I was wondering if you wanted to know, like, how to do something easier. Why are you doing that to yourself? Yeah, because sometimes, like, hyper-independent people, it's like, it's obvious they need help, but they won't admit it. So if you go, do you need help? You know, they're going to be like, no, I don't need help. So you need to ask other questions. Like I said, why are you doing that to yourself? You know, why are you hurting yourself? Why are you putting yourself under so much pressure? You know, why is it so hard for you to accept help? Anyways, I'm going to end this video. I'm almost to my final destination. Would you like to see what I am driving on? Wait, let me see. Look at this beautiful road. I don't know, there's something about just long drives with no one in sight and no stoplights that is just so pleasing to my soul. I love it. Just drive. There was cows, but I didn't turn the camera. Anyways, yeah, I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope you are taking time to give yourself time and to give yourself everything that you've been so busy trying to give everyone else. You know, you need to fill your cup. You're important. You're the most important investment. Anyways, you have a beautiful day. Blessings to one and all. There's a car. I'm in.